Viewers, we'll keep you updated as soon as we get any update with regards to this story. Of course, this is for people who file their taxes or tax returns subject to tax audit. But moving on, Nilesh Jain, Head AVP Technical and Derivative Research at Centrum Broking, joining us now. Nilesh, hi, good afternoon to you. We've slid well below that 25,000 levels now. Do you think this is the right time? Do you think this is the time when one makes an entry buying the dips? Is this the right levels?
Very good afternoon. Well, this has been the 5th consecutive days of lower highs and lower low formation. Now, 24,900 is an important level to watch out for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you see the entire run-up which started all the way from the levels of 24,400 to almost the levels of 25,448. So that was the momentum that we saw. If we take the retracement, and 50% retracement of the entire run-up come exactly at 24,900, and looks like it is likely to close below the same. So that will be a kind of a negative setup on immediate basis. And looking at the overall setup, it looks like if at all we see any pullback, there could be possibility of some bit of selling pressure likely to continue going forward as well. So it is important now for the Nifty to reclaim 25,000 levels in the coming week. We have monthly FNX expiry as well, so there could be possibility of a short covering rally. So the broader range is 24,800 to 25,000. So that's the 200-point immediate range that we are expecting. Stop loss for the long position should be placed at 24,800. And fresh entry, I would rather suggest to better wait for one particular days of reversal candle, since it has been a constant decline that we have seen in last 5 consecutive sessions. So not the right entry at present. Better wait for some bit of a reversal that should come on the card.
That's with regards to markets. Nilesh, then at this point in time, what would your top trading bets be?
Telecom space is looking positive. Bharti Airtel specifically, this particular counter, we have seen a good consolidation. And after a brief pause today, it has witnessed some bit of a pullback. So we are expecting a follow-up move to continue on the upside for a price target of 1980. So that's the immediate target that we can expect for September series. Stop loss can be placed at 1918, and Bharti Airtel is a buy.
Okay, all right. Bharti Airtel is a buy from Nilesh. But some counters that are buzzing significantly in terms of volumes includes the counter that we already talked about, Phenotex Chemicals. Almost 184 times its 30-day average. Max India is also something that we addressed, 114 times its 30-day average. Although we'll also have to see as to how the liquidity for these counters are. But V-Guard is another one, 21 times its 30-day average. Nugent Software, 8.7 times its 30-day average. And this is there's Hindustan Copper as well in the list, 5 times 30-day average, and Godrej Industries, 3 times its 30-day average. Nirav, I'll take Hindustan Copper up with you. We've seen copper LME prices going up in the past 1 month, and on the back of that, this counter has been soaring. Do you think, considering the fundamentals of the company, is this a good counter to enter into the metal space, or would you watch out for something else?
I think it's a very good counter, and we have a coverage on this stock at 255. This stock was initiated in June 2025, and at that point of time the company had made a presentation, and they had spoken about their expansion plans, how they plan to invest money, how they plan to increase the capacity going forward. Now, this is the need of the hour, and considering the fact that copper is so important, yesterday only we had some statements coming in about how the consumption of copper has been going up. For example, we have the renewable energy space where a huge amount of copper gets consumed. At the same time, data centers have been very big consumers of copper. On an average, a data center requires approximately 28 to 30 tons of copper. So I think all this will require huge investments which will be required to be made in mining the copper also, because you can't depend just on imports. We've seen the pitfalls of all that in the recent past. So I think from that perspective, a lot of these mining stocks, metal stocks have been in the limelight. And yesterday, of course, we've seen the LME prices are up by around 3%. So I think all this adds to the sentiment. And we have Hindustan Copper, which has got a mine extension also. They are working on various joint ventures also. So the outlook is quite positive.
Okay, so that's with regards to a few of the names which are buzzing on the back of volumes. Let me also address a V-Guard, where volumes are up almost 21.4 times its 30-day average. You have Newgen Software as well, which is up 8.7 times, and a Godrej Industries, where the volumes are up almost 3.6 times its 30-day average. Overall, Nilesh, on these three names, strong volumes coming in there. Movement is also pretty okay. What would you advise investors to do?
Right. So out of all these three stocks that you have just pointed out, I think Godrej Industry is better placed for a couple of reasons. First of all, it has taken a very good support at 50-day moving average. Even if you see volume attraction with the price breakout that can be seen on the daily time frame chart, and this has been a third consecutive days of momentum. So I think there may be a follow-up move in this particular stock towards 1280, 1300 going forward. It has a very good support somewhere around 1180, so that should be the stop loss. Another stock, that's V-Guard, a good price and volume spurt can be seen in this particular counter as well. So look better place for a follow-up move. Although we have seen some bit of profit taking from the levels of 390, I think going forward it is likely to move towards 400 plus kind of level. So it's a good bet. After today's profit booking, the risk and reward has again turned positive, and 360 should be the stop loss, and 390, 400 kind of levels can be seen from a short-term perspective.
That's with regards to V-Guard, but let's quickly just address the markets, because you've slipped below that 24,900 mark also yet again. Clearly, if you talk about Nifty 50, 24,893 is what you're tracking at the day's lowest levels. It is expiry, and that's the reason why you're seeing these kind of cuts, 0.7% lower there. Let's quickly look at the Sensex as well, where that is trading, because it's going to be interesting to see the pressure that's building up. IT is the one which is under pressure, 0.6% lower in terms of the Sensex as well. Nifty IT 1.2% is the kind of cuts. Let's just look at the components of Nifty IT, and that will tell you the story as to whether the pressure is on the large cap space or the small cap space. There you go. All of them cuts in that range of almost 1 to 2.5% that's coming in, and this is ahead of the Accenture numbers. What is going to be interesting over here is, in case the commentary is good from Accenture and there is even a little bit of respite, you could see a bounce back that could be coming in for IT as a sector in tomorrow's session. So watch out for this one pretty closely in trade. Let's just pull up the banking space as well and see what Bank Nifty and the PSU Bank Index are doing in trade. Bank Nifty has also tumbled at the day's lowest levels after being for some bit of the time in the green. Similarly, with the PSU Bank Index as well, it's a downtick that is coming in there. Let's just look at the sectoral heat map and see which are the other sectors which are putting pressure in terms of markets right now. The metals is the only one which is trading in the positive. All of the others have gone into the negative, with cuts of around 0.7% to around 1.8%. Real estate being the top losing sector, Mahima.
In fact, the India VIX is also up. In the morning we were just seeing India VIX being up around 1.4%, but right now it's almost trading around 2.3% higher, which indicates that volatility is increasing in the market. So I think tomorrow will be a key day to watch out for, because it'll be probably a fifth day in a row if we close in red. Today also we are seeing Nifty slip below that 24,900 mark. So keep your eye out on what's happening with the indexes. But with that, I think just
one more thing that we need to mark over here. Let's pull up a Bharti Airtel and a Vodafone Idea. We're just picking up right now where top officials of telecom companies and OEMs have arrived in Delhi, and this is to meet Union Minister Scindia. In fact, the top DOT officials, including Secretary Neeraj Mittal, will be holding a meeting along with the minister. Akash Ambani, Jio's Ravi Gandhi, Vodafone Idea's Abhijit Kishore, top officials from Airtel, Ericsson are among the others. And meeting is likely to discuss preparations of IMC 2025, Bharat 6G Alliance and more. That's the latest that we're picking up with regards to where the telecom companies go. Nirav, Very quickly, any view with regards to telecom majors? Bharti Airtel was one of the top gainers on Nifty 50 today. Vodafone has been having a good ride as well, just ahead of the AGR dues meeting that will be scheduled in the Supreme Court soon. What would you advise investors to do?
Well, I think as far as Vodafone is concerned, the hearing is there tomorrow. It is scheduled for Friday. It was originally, I think, scheduled for Friday. So I think it's likely to be in the news on account of that. But I think as far as from a fundamental perspective, I think Bharti Airtel remains the best pick in the sector at this point of time.
Okay, all right. So that's with regards to where these telecom companies are concerned. But moving on, some counters that are buzzing in trade today includes counters like Gujarat Paper, Dalmia Bharat and Nugent Software as well. And we have Jasmeet joining us with more details as to why they are buzzing. Jasmeet?
Well, right. Thank you for that. The first one, the stock which is buzzing in trade would be the Gujarat Paper. Well, the company gets an order from ONGC, and this contract is for development of the storage facilities at the port. Well, this order is supposed to be for 5 years starting from October 1st, and the order will include development of marine line facilities as well as support the other facilities for the company. While ONGC to also establish a port given that. While the next one is Dalmia Bharat, while the ED attaches the company's arm in the case of money laundering. While the land which is valued for the money laundering stands at 377 odd crores, while as per ED, the provisional attachment order was for rupees 794 odd crores back in March 31. If you look at the other case attachment, this has been following up by CBI case since 2011. So this is stock something to watch out for.
Okay, Jasmeet, thank you so much for bringing us those details. Nilesh, Dalmia Bharat and Gujarat Paper. Dalmia Bharat is down in trade today, but something like a Gujarat Paper is seeing a decent amount of gains is what we are seeing compared to what markets are doing. Attractive enough on the charts right now?
Well, out of these two, if I look at Dalmia Bharat, where we have seen a constant decline with a good volume attraction. So in fact, liquidation of long position that can be seen in this particular counter. So it's an avoid as of now, and we may not see that kind of a reversal that will take some more time. And apart from that, other stock, Gujarat Pipava, I think that's what you were asking about. Yes, so Gujarat Pipava, see comparatively this particular counter, in fact, if you see the structure, looks more sort of a sideways to positive. From a positional perspective, if at all you see any dip towards 150, 148, that can be a good entry point. Purely from a trading perspective, there could be possibility of a move towards 160 to 162. Again, I'm not expecting any major upside, but yes, can be a trading bet from a short-term perspective.
Okay, so Gujarat Pipavav, a trading bet from a short-term perspective. But shipping companies are the other ones which are in focus as well, from a Garden Reach to a Cochin Shipyard to a SCI, 2 consecutive sessions of gains that we saw. Right now, if you go to see in terms of shipping companies, you're not seeing, I mean, that's the metal index that's flashing on your screens, but in terms of shipping, there is that profit booking that has come in. Nirav, any view on the back of the packages that the government actually announced in yesterday's session? There are some of the beneficiaries. Would you be a buyer?
Well, I think on the valuation parameters, again, these shipping companies are looking reasonably attractive. If one were to look at a trailing 12 months price to earning multiples, they are trading in the range of 53 to 58 times. If one were to assume a 30% growth rate, then I think this the forward PE for FY27 comes to around 32 times. Now 32 times is pretty attractive considering the fact that most of these companies have very strong order books and a strong revenue visibility going forward, and margins are likely to be reasonably good. So I think there is definitely a compelling case for a buy as far as these companies are concerned.
Okay, now on to our special segment, that is Profit Intelligence. Metals remain in focus. After Hindustan Copper's sharp rally, are other metal counters also looking attractive? And whether they're worth picking up right now, my colleague Vansh joins us with more details and analysis on how other metal companies are doing.
Thank you for that. So yes, we have already seen approximately 40% run up in terms of Hindustan Copper, and also we don't have any other direct play on copper except Hindustan Copper in terms for India. So now let's move ahead to the next part, like what lies ahead for the metal sector. Now generally what we have seen is the aluminium prices that tend to be firm with the surging higher copper prices. Now this is on the back of the higher copper prices, which encourages the use of aluminium as cheaper alternatives, so which can further spike the prices of aluminium as well. And also the copper signals strong industrial demand, which may further support the aluminium prices as well. Now if we talk about the aluminium prices, they are already up about 16% from the lows of April 2025. Now let's get to the interesting part. Will the next leg of rally will be driven by the stocks like Nalco, Vedanta and Hindalco? Beginning with Nalco, we have tightening energy norms in China and the capping fresh alumina expansions, which can further drive the rally for Nalco. In terms of the alumina segment, it accounts for 43% of their FY25 EBITDA as well. And lastly, if I talk about the backward integration, they have backward integration in coal and bauxite, which further prevents them for any volatility in the raw material prices as well. Moving on to Vedanta, now we have already seen aluminium prices that are up 16% since April, and now alumina continue to fall, and the alumina prices have continued to fall, and in fact have dropped to $323 a ton. Now this is very favorable for Vedanta, as it continues to hold a net short position in alumina. What it means is that it purchases the excess alumina for its aluminium production. So clearly this one will also remain in focus. Third on my list is Hindalco. Now the strong aluminium prices will aid for the company's performance. The management has already guided that the Novelis profitability has likely to be bottomed out in Q1 FY26, and we can expect a recovery from here on. Also, the firm aluminium prices should add the duration visibility of the earnings for Hindalco as well. So this is how the overall picture is looking like for the entire metal pack.
Thank you so much for that, Vansh. In fact, we spoke to Sanjeev Kumar Singh of Hindustan Copper and Arun Mishra of Hindustan Zinc about their expansion plans and more. Listen in.
The mines were closed for a long time in Ghatshila area and the Jharkhand area. Some of the mines were closed since 2001 July. So I'd like to mention that we have already started reopening them and operating those mines. The Surda mine started last year in October. Kendadi, you must have heard, on 19th September, we have signed the lease deed agreement. 20th onwards, 2 days have already passed. We have already started the mining operations, dewatering, other things have started there. And within 10 to 15 days, the Kendadi mine, which has already got the statutory clearances, will go for the lease deed execution. So these things are coming up in front of you. So these all three mines, this Surda and Kendadi, will immediately add on to the production, whereas Rakha will add on after 1.5 years. But mind it, Rakha is a mine with a capacity of 3 million tons, which it will come up in 6 to 7 years. So these three mines will come up in Jharkhand region, which will add roughly a substantial portion to my kitty. Second, the Malanjkhand mine, which is my flagship mine, I should say, is running as per its expansion plan. The open cast has been converted to underground. The last year's production of 2.73, that is the record production, was exclusively from underground mine. And this year, 2.9 will come from that. And we are already 90 to 92% of that. This year there was a lot of monsoon, and monsoon was advanced also in the month of May. That's why we are slightly lagging, but after the October month, we'll pick it up and we'll cross 2.90 definitely from this. And at Khetri mines, which is in Rajasthan, there also the expansions and other things are going on as per the schedule.
We have got 30 million ton metal in ore. That means all the ore that we have, around 450 million tons. If I take out the metal out of it, it will be about 30 million ton. And we are producing at 1 million ton. If you need to double that, that means availability of resource below ground is not a question. The question is how quickly we can mine and take it out, and logistics and things like that. So for that, in today's world, there is enough of technology. The current operations that we have, we are planning to engage an Australian mining consultant to increase that efficiency by 30% and balance production. That means currently we mine about 17 million ton. We'll take it to about 22 million ton by increasing efficiency. And for balance part of it, we need to mine 35 million ton to make 2 million ton metal. For balance mining, we will be expanding our mines both horizontally and also by depth. We have been also assisted by Government of India's new regulation of 10% additional mining space for deep-seated ore bodies. It will also come to our help. And so it's not very difficult. The surface plants are much easy to construct. Yes, underground development is a little bit of a concern, but just to give you the figures, you must be hearing, in Himalaya, such tunnel has been done, which some 8 kilometer, 9 kilometer over many years. Here, every year we do a tunneling through the rock about more than 100 kilometers. So we only now, and we engage about 900 odd equipment. We will be engaging now about 1200 to 1300 equipment and double the number, and it will come. It's as simple as that.
Okay, Nilesh, Hindustan Copper has already run up quite significantly. Any other metal counters that you see, momentum picking up on the charts?
Well, first of all, Hindustan Copper, we also remain bullish on this particular stock, and we have already seen a good momentum. Technical front, the target on the upside comes somewhere around 370 to 400. So that's the short to medium term target for this particular counter. 300 is a very strong support. So buy and decline should be the strategy. Apart from that, we also remain bullish on the overall metal space. So Nifty Metal Index, which is moving towards a new record high from here. So 10,300 to 10,500 kind of levels we can expect in the Nifty Metal Index. So within that space, Jindal Steel and Power, JSPL, there's another stock that is looking strong, and this particular counter is also on the verge of a major breakout with a new record high coming soon. So target on the upside would be somewhere around 1100 to 1140. Stop loss should be placed at 1025, and JSPL is also a buy. Within aluminum space, Hindalco is looking strong on the chart, although we have seen some bit of profit taking at the higher levels, but overall it's a buy and decline structure for Hindalco as well, for upside target of 770 to 790, and the stop loss should be placed below 720.
So that's the view coming in terms of metals. Nilesh, what would your BTST, STBT calls be?
So one particular stock that has just came on my radar, that's PNB Housing Finance. It's a buy. If you see overall NBFC space, housing finance space is doing good. Chola Finance, LTF, Bajaj doing, in fact, across all NBFC stocks, we have seen a very good momentum in the recent time, and PNB Housing Finance is giving a very good close from a short-term perspective. We expect a follow-up move in this particular stock towards 940 to 960. So it's a buy at current level. 890 should be the stop loss. 940, 960 kind of levels can be seen.
Some names that have in fact, bounced back from the day's low point include something like a Hitachi Energy, AstraZeneca, Maruti Suzuki, Bot India, PNG Hygiene also 200 points uptick is what we're seeing. Any of these counters that you're looking at?
Well, AstraZeneca is something that has given a very strong move from the lower levels, and in last couple of minutes we have seen a very good volume attraction as well. So this particular stock looks better, could be a BTST in this particular stock as well. 9,200, 9,300 kind of levels one can expect, and 80, 850, 8850 should be the stop loss.
Okay. Nirav, we were just talking about trend. Year to date, it's down almost 39%, and probably the top Nifty loser year to date. We'll have to check that data, of course. But your view with regards to where trend stands versus other retailers that have done fairly well, small retailers, something like a V2 Retail or Vishal Megamart, that have done well in this year.
Well, I think the valuations were just too steep as far as trend is concerned. So I think it's better to wait for the quarterly results for the festival season, what kind of sales they are able to achieve. And I think it will take some time for the valuations really to catch up from here. So I think the stock would likely to remain under pressure in the near term.
Okay, so the pressure could continue in the near term as well. In fact, it's been almost 1 year that trend has been added to Nifty 50 as well. So it's going to be an interesting story to watch out for on NDTV Profit. But thank you, Nilesh and Neera, for joining us on the show and sharing your views so far. Let's quickly take a look at what the closing is looking like.